What if Canada and the UK were the only two countries in the world and you had to choose? Guys, today we'll be comparing the two countries, Canada and the UK. Welcome back to the channel. If you're here for the first time, my name is Jane. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So I recently moved to Canada from the UK, and in this video I'm going to be talking about these two countries. However, I will not be able to cover everything in one video. We're going to be discussing various topics, right? So we'll talk food, groceries, we'll talk transportation, we'll talk about employment, we'll talk about childcare, healthcare, and all that stuff. So I will not be able to cover everything in this video. What you can do is click on the notification bell so that whenever I drop the video, you'll be notified. Guys, I just want to get this out of the way because ever since I moved, I've had people asking me some questions around it. So I just decided to do a video to cover it. But I know that if I decide to do everything in one video, it go too long, right? So I'm going to break it down. So join the family, subscribe if you have not, and then click on the notification so that the notification bell so that you'll be notified whenever I drop any of the videos, right? And you can have all the information that you need. So guys, in this video, we're just going to talk about like the most important thing. What is that thing to a man's heart? Not man as per man as in human beings, is the belly being. So let's talk food today. We'll talk about groceries, especially shopping. And when I say shopping, I'm not talking about like fashion items and all that kind of shopping or home items like furniture. No, we're just going to talk about just about the grocery and food type. Now Canada is really big, so it's not going to be fair to compare Canada and the UK as big countries that they are. So if you don't know, let me tell you guys, Canada is bigger than UK in terms of land area, land mass, right? But when it comes to population, UK is twice the population of Canada. So Canada is around 38 million right now, but the UK is like twice that. UK is about 68 million. Yes, they're about right now in terms of population. But when you talk about the land area, Canada that we're all talking about is like 10 times the size of the UK. So we're going to be fair to the UK when we talk about some things, right, in this series. So I just wanted to mention that so that you know that Canada is way bigger in terms of land area, but when it comes to population, they're not near UK, right? UK is so much more than Canada. Now, back to what we're talking about. I cannot use the entire country of Canada to say, okay, this is what it is for everywhere. And so I'm going to use the area where I am, which is Manitoba, Winnipeg precisely. When I was in the UK, I lived in South Yorkshire, Sheffield/Rotherham, right? So I'm going to use these two places. They are not the most expensive in Canada. Like, you know, in the UK, when you say London, London is super, super expensive. And in Canada, when you say Toronto, 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 that side too is very expensive. Now, the UK, everywhere around London, not everywhere, but like places surrounding London, Swindon, and all those kind of areas, Oxford, those places are also expensive. But further down north where I stayed, which is South Yorkshire, even North Yorkshire, even West Yorkshire. I think Leeds is in West Yorkshire. I forget now. Anyway, further down north of the UK is not as expensive as all those other places, right? So I'm going to be using that area and comparing it to this area, which is also not Ontario, and it's not the most expensive province. So when you talk about expensive provinces, you're talking maybe Ontario, you're talking British Columbia, right? But Manitoba is pretty chilled when it comes to expensive. It's not expensive. You will not call it expensive when you're calling expensive provinces. Okay, so these are the two places I'm going to be using to compare, or as comparison for this series. So keep that in mind. Whatever I say is most likely around this area. It might be slightly different from other areas, so keep that in mind. Okay, so back to what we were saying. Which one is more expensive? Now, I know that some people may have different opinions, right? But everyone that I have met, everyone that I've talked to, everything that I've read, my own experience, cost of food is expensive, more expensive in Canada. And when I say more expensive, I don't just mean small expensive, really expensive. Now, I'll give you guys some examples so that you understand where I'm coming from. In the UK, food is not expensive, right? You can get, when you come to fruits, you can get even the expensive stores. But let me use Aldi. When you go to Aldi to shop, you know that pack of oranges or a bunch of bananas and stuff, you still get that for around like £1, £1 something, right? Less than £1 even. Fruits are not so bad. But here in Canada, you will find same size of oranges or not even oranges now. If you want tangerines or mandarins, right, you will get that for maybe like $6, $7. Now, some people might say, oh, it's exchange rate. It is not, because when you convert it, £1 is supposed to be about 1.7, 1.8 Canadian dollars. So let's just be generous. Let's say £1 is equivalent to 2 Canadian dollars, right? So if I get something for £1, I expect that I will see it plus or minus $2 in Canada, but it's not so. The things that you get for £1 in the UK, you get for like 5, 6, 7 Canadian dollars here, right? Guys, I hope that I don't mix all these pounds and Canadian dollars, but you already know that when I say pounds, I mean the UK, and when I say CAD or Canadian dollars, I mean Canada, right? And yes, so that's what it is. Basically everything when it comes to food. If you go grocery shopping in this Canada, you will weep. You will weep. And another thing that makes it not a very pleasurable experience is, you know how in the UK you have some stores that you already know that, okay, if I want affordable food stuff or affordable groceries, I will go to Aldi, I'll go to Lidl. If I want to up it a little, I can do Tesco and Asda, right? You already know these stores. Now you can now choose to go to other stores, maybe because you like the quality of things there or you like the taste of the products that they have. You can now go to other stores, but you know these things. But here in Canada, the stores, you go to this store and you find, maybe you find tomatoes cheap here. You go to the next store and you find tomatoes expensive, but something else cheap. So it makes it tiring that if I want to buy or if I want to maximize the money I have, I may now have to jump from one store to the other. And when you check all those things, you be like, please, let me just shop in one store. Now, when you're done shopping, money don't come up. But I know that when I'm going to Lidl to shop or when I'm going to Aldi to shop, that what I'm going to be getting there across board is going to be relatively cheaper than what I'll get from maybe like Waitrose or Morrison's. So I'll now choose, okay, do I want to shop here or here, right? But here you can't really say. You will enter, say you enter Sobeys, and then you get some things expensive and some things cheap. You go to No Frills, you get some things cheap and some other items expensive. Nobody get that time to shop from here to here, right? So that's why I said that things are pretty much more expensive here. And apart from that, every other thing from chicken, beans, rice, whatever you want to call it. In my experience, I have not seen one thing that I bought in Canada that is cheaper in Canada than I bought it in the UK. I have not seen one thing when it comes to groceries, be it tomatoes, fruits, grains, everything. I'm going to maybe check for some options online and show you. So you see stuff like, I remember the day I went to get what was it? I went to shop for some things to cook, and then I entered the store. Even like provisions, guys. You know how you go to Aldi and you go to the biscuit section and you have alternatives, like so many options, and they are all maybe less than £1. So you buy your digestives, shortbreads, all those things, £1, £1, £1, right? When you come here to shop, you'll be seeing all those kind of biscuits like $6, right? So when you're done shopping, money don't come up. You don't even have as much, I mean, my experience, you don't even have as much options as you have back in the UK. So generally speaking, when it comes to food, Canada is more expensive. When it comes to groceries, Canada is more expensive. Now, people who live in Canada don't know this because they have not lived in the UK, right? But if you're coming from the UK to Canada, you would definitely complain about grocery shopping in Canada. There's not one person that I've seen that did not compare those prices and weep because of how expensive it is to shop here. Okay, so yes, when it comes to food, when you're considering food and comparing the UK to Canada, Canada is more expensive, more than twice the price. It is more expensive to shop for groceries and food in Canada than it is in the UK. So guys, like I said, I'm going to keep this video simple. In this video, we've talked about food. I'll do another video where we'll talk, or maybe I'll combine two things in one so that the series is not too long. Right, the next one we can talk about maybe like employment and transportation, or maybe transportation and shopping and all. Yeah, I just want to end this video for now. I will see you guys in the next one. If you have not subscribed, subscribe now. If you know someone who is considering UK and Canada, send this video to them. It's going to be very helpful to them. It will give you like more information for you to make your decision. Okay, so don't just jump with everyone who is trying to move. I know that a lot of people in the UK are considering moving to Canada, but it's nice that you have the information that you need so that even if that is what you want to do, you will come prepared. Okay, I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, bye guys.